Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'll be speaking to you about conventional optimization of surgeons' lens constants. I have no financial interest in the contents of this presentation. First, I would like to discuss with you a familiar scenario. I think most of us have seen this scenario in our practices. We do an excellent surgery, we are exhilarated, the next day the patient comes back for the day one visit, the cornea is pristine, the eye is quiet, but the patient is very unhappy. And the reason for this unhappiness is there is a residual refractive error, which was totally unanticipated, and it really sets us back. So that is why the need for optimization comes in. If you want to hit the bullseye each and every time, then there is no getting away from optimization. All of us are, I'm sure, quite well aware of the need for the optimization of A constants, but very few of us are actually doing it, which is why I wanted to highlight again that it is why it is extremely important as doing a good measurement, and just like Dr. Vinita just told us. So why optimize? First, we have to optimize because we have to consider the systematic biometry errors. When we are doing the measurements on instruments, there are some consistent errors in our biometry equipment. Then with each surgeon or each technician, there is a consistent corneal applanation that is happening whenever we are doing a contact biometry. There may be calibration errors in our machines, and there are certain errors, inherent errors, due to certain assumptions that we made about the speed of sound in various media, refractive index of the cornea, etc., which we need to consider. The IOL design features are also different. We need to optimize because of the angulation of the haptics. The overall size and the shape of the implant will also change the final IOL power. The rigidity of the haptic-optic junction, the biological interaction of the lens with the capsular bag, the response to the capsular phimosis, and the final position of the IOL in the bag. Where you finally place it, it will give us the final ELP, that is the effective lens position, which is extremely important in calculating the final IOL power. Then each surgeon has his or her own peculiarities. How the surgeon makes the rexes, what is the size and the centration of the rexes. Where is the final placement of that IOL within the bag? How well you remove the viscoelastic at the end of the surgery, especially from behind the IOL. And these optimization techniques are not only valid for phaco or SICS, they are also valid for ECC. We need to optimize for those also. And because the suturing technique is individual to each surgeon, and it can have a huge difference on the final outcome. So these are the reasons why we need to optimize. Because one thing that we need to understand is the A constant that is actually given to us, these are not really constants, but they are variable. They are variable in the hands of different surgeons, they are variable for different IOL powers, and they are variable for different biometry machines. Even the name is variable. If you are using SRK2 or SRKT, they are called as A constant. If you are using Holiday, it's called as surgeon's factor. If you are using Hoffer-Q formula, it's called a PACD or a personalized ACD, and so on. So this constant is not actually a constant, it's a variable. Whenever we buy a lens, it is always written. It's a manufacturer's estimated A constant. So it is only as a guideline to us, but it is not the absolute value. We should definitely personalize it and use it then. So what are the measurements that you need for optimization? It is very simple. We already have all the data with us. We just need to have a meticulous record keeping so that all this data is recorded properly and it can be used for the optimization. We basically need the preoperative keratometry. We need the preoperative axial length, which we are anyway measuring for our IOL power calculation. Then what we need to record is what lens model and what lens power was implanted in that particular patient. And then we need to have the final post-operative refractive error, that by which I mean is the stable post-operative refractive error. I will just discuss how to do a manual optimization for a very, very simple formula, and that is the SRK formula, the original SRK formula, which was taught to us that P equals where P is the power of the implant which is to be used. It equals the A constant, in which we used to input the manufacturer's A constant, and from which we need to subtract 0.9 of the keratometry in diopters and 2.5 times the axial length in millimeters. If we rearrange the same equation, then we get A constant equals 0.9 K plus 2.5 AL plus P. But please note that here P is not the power that we have implanted. We actually mean the ideal IL power for that particular patient for emetropia. If we input the ideal IL power, then we will get the correct A constant with that particular patient in our hands. So how to determine this ideal IL power? I'll start with an example. Suppose an IL of 20 diopters is implanted and the patient is emetropic postoperatively, no refractive error. Then your ideal IL power is 20. But what if there had been a refractive error? In that case, we have to calculate what is the spherical equivalent of the residual refractive error, multiply it by a refractive factor, and then add that result to the actual implant power. I will elaborate it further. So our implanted IL power was 20 diopters, and post-operatively we got a refractive error, a spherical equivalent of minus half diopters. So to calculate the ideal IL power, we need to multiply it with the refractive factor and then add the implanted IL power. So our P becomes 1.25, which is the refractive factor, multiplied by minus half, which is minus 0.625, and then we add it to plus 20, and the ideal IL power comes out to be 19.375. And just a short note here that the refractive factor is taken to be, for the SRK formula, taken to be 1.25, except when we implant IL power of 16 or less, when it is taken to be 1. So after calculating the ideal IL power, we can back calculate the A constant for that particular case. Similarly, we calculate A constants for a series of cases. Then we need to remove the outliers from that series, average the remaining, and then we start getting an average A constant, which is more significant in our hands for a particular lens model. 25 or more cases are needed for meaningful results, although you will start getting good results even after 15 to 20 cases. Then after you get a meaningful result, start using this new A constant for your future IL power calculations for that particular lens. The important points to note in this is you have to optimize for one surgeon. You cannot collate the data of multiple surgeons and then take out the constant. It is a personalized constant. One surgeon, one lens model, preferably one biometry setup. Otherwise, we will not be able to take out the systematic errors as we talked about. One style of surgery, either phaco or SICS or ECC. And optimization works best for in the back placement of the IOL. If we are putting the lens in the sulcus, then it will work, but not to that good an extent. And we need to take the standardized, stable post-op refraction, whether it be at 3 weeks, whether it be at 6 weeks, but it should be consistent and standardized for each case. This was a manual calculation that I showed you, but manual calculations have big limitations. This was the simplest of the formula, which I doubt anybody of us is using as of now. The theoretical formulas that we use nowadays, the modern formulas, they have extremely complex equations. To back calculate each and every case will be extremely time consuming, and there is a high possibility of unnoticed error. In fact, Dr. Hofer himself agrees that when he back calculated for his formula, he had a mathematician sit with him to do all the calculations. So I'm sure we would not be able to do it accurately. Most of us would not be able to do it. So I'm just giving an example. Suppose we want to back calculate a surgeon's factor. Surgeon's factor is what we use in Holiday 1. And this is the equation for that. So I can't even make head or tail out of this equation, so let alone calculate it. So we have to look for other ways. So what are the other optimization strategies that we have? We have already seen manual calculations. Second strategy is to do it on your own biometry machine. And third is do it through a computer. So let us discuss the second option. When we use the biometry machine, we just have to do a little bit additional work. First is we need to save the data when we are doing the initial biometry. We have to feed the keratometry, and when we measure the exit length, it is automatically saved in the patient's name. We have to remember to save the data. Once the stable post-op refraction has been achieved, at that time we need to note it down and then go back to the biometry machine and enter the data. A few things that need to be entered is the surgeon for that particular case, the IOL power model that was implanted, the final post-operative refraction in spherical equivalent form. So the machine, each machine has their own parameters, but on my particular machine, it starts giving me results after I have input 10 cases of a particular IOL for one surgeon. And after that, I don't have to do anything. I just put my data in and the machine calculates the new A constant and it gives me the IOL results based on those new constants. So it will be different for different machines. So you need to go back, check the manual that comes with your machine and see how many cases are required. Okay, but there is a limitation of the biometry machine also. For one, it is a little bit cumbersome to enter the data in. And more importantly, it has a memory issue. At least the older machines, they did not have too much memory. So sometimes you could not enter more than 100 cases. And we want to put in as many cases as we want because the more data we put in, good data, the better our results will become. They will keep becoming better. So is there an even simpler way? Yes, there is. We can do it on a computer, on a specific software that I'll be telling you about. It is much easier to work on the PC. We are all very familiar working on our laptops or on our PCs. It is easier to back up the data. It is much faster. The calculations are also faster. And there are no memory overload issues. I'll just give you an example of the software that we have been using. This is the lens constants optimizer. You will see that the input data requirement is very, very minimal. We basically need to feed in the pre-operative K1 and K2, the exit length. After we get the post-op results, we need to feed in the data of the IOL that was implanted, the power of the IOL that was implanted, and the final post-op refraction, the sphere and the cylinder. You would notice that this optimizer has been set for a particular IOL model. The IOL model you can fill in once in the beginning and then keep filling the data from the others. You don't have to keep repeating it. So this optimizer is working for Technis 1 lens, which has a manufacturer's A constant of 118.8 for a contact biometry. And on the top right corner, you will see the results that it gives me. I have just fed in 6 values, but it has already started giving me results. In case you want to use the SRK2 formula, so now it's telling me that after these 6 cases, my A constant should not be 118.8, it should be 118.68. If I'm using SRKT, from next time I use a Technis, I should be using a constant of 118.25. And Hoffer-Q and Holiday. These are the 4 common formulas. By Holiday, I mean Holiday 1. These are the 4 common formulas that we use, and it will give us the optimized constants for these 4 formulas. You can download multiple copies of this optimizer and use separate copies for separate lens. I have used this particular copy for Technis 1. Suppose I'm using some other IOL, I'm using Sensar 1, I will download another optimizer and put my Sensar data into that. So, as to get. And it can be done similarly for different surgeons. Each surgeon should have his or her own optimizer. Now, the question of from where to get the software. This software has been developed by Dr. Saurabh, who will be talking to you after some time. And it is available for free download from these 2 websites. One is the website of insighteyeclinic.in, and you go to OphthalCalcs and you can download this software by the name of IOL Constants Optimizer. Or you can go onto your Facebook page, just type in ophthalmic calculators over there, and from there you can reach this. Again, you will reach the same page from where you can have a free download. Download multiple copies and start optimizing. Believe me, it's going to make a big difference. It is not very hard to do. We all have a mental block about not doing it, but once you start doing it, it is extremely good. It makes your life so much more easier. Thank you so much for your time.